Emily.
Hello.
Can you tell me a little about yourself?
Well, Skyla and I went to nutrition school together.
Yes.
Way back when, I guess 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been cooking. So now I'm training to be a Red Seal professional chef. Which pretty much is just a fancy way of saying that I'm working in various kitchens underneath various chefs.
Right. And where are you doing that?
So I'm doing that at the University of British Columbia, UBC, and then I'm also doing it with Chef Karen McCarthy from Blue Heron Creamery, which is a vegan cheese company.
When did you first get into nutrition and cooking, or figure out that you even liked it?
I guess I started getting into nutrition my first year at university at UBC.
Okay.
Started in arts at UBC, and then I transferred to nutritional sciences. And I did that for a year, but it was very much more science than nutrition. I just felt like the university setting wasn't for me. So then I found IHN, Institute of Holistic Nutrition, where we met. We met in holistic cooking class, right?
Yeah. We did a little, one of the courses was a holistic cooking class. It was just part of the curriculum, and it was a weekend course. And so we did it together and just instantly clicked because we weren't in the same time slot during school.
Oh, IHN was awesome for me. I loved it. I loved the smaller size classes and like sports nutrition.
Everything was amazing.
Herbal medicine, like all the courses were so cool. After finishing school, I knew I liked to cook, like it was my hobby, it was my passion, but I didn't know if I could do that as a career. I found a culinary internship abroad, so I went to Costa Rica for 6 months. And I worked at a yoga retreat center as a cook. So I was cooking every single day, but what was cool about it is I was there and living expense-free. So it was an inexpensive way to test out my passion or hobby to see if I could make it as a career. Versus, you know, finishing nutrition school and then going to culinary school and spending all this money. And as soon as I came back from Costa Rica, I was like, hell yeah, this is what I want to do. I worked at a plant-based restaurant in Vancouver called Turf, and then I left that, go to UBC, and now I'm also working with Chef Karen in Blue Heron Creamery.
And she's the, what are you now?
I'm sous chef there. So I've been cooking professionally for a year now. I started my food blog when I was in university, and I was just learning how to cook. So like the first recipes that I made were so embarrassing. I feel like right now there's a lot of building blocks that I have underneath my belt before I can be known as a chef.
So what are your goals?
I'd like to be a vegan chef. So to become a professional chef, you do have to cook with meat and other animal products, but I'm vegan myself, and that is that's my passion. Have cookbooks. I'd like to possibly have a cooking show, and I'd like to be a personal chef. I'd like to use the background that I have with nutrition and help clients with their nutritional goals while still creating a beautiful meal.
So how long have you been a vegan?
So I've been vegan for 3 years now. So I feel like I have a lot more energy. I don't feel nutritionally deprived by any means. Why I went vegan were the moral and ethical aspects behind it. So I just feel like a happier person. It was a little bit challenging, but I would say that with anything, if you're going on, like changing up your lifestyle, whatever it is, if you're going paleo, whatever it is, you will have a bit of a transition period for your body to adjust, but after a couple of months, no problem. It's so easy, like even going out to eat, I just know what I can order, what I can get.
For people who have absolutely no idea how to cook or anything about food, but they know they want to eat healthy, but what are some just general easy tips that you would give to somebody live that lifestyle and not make it seem so intimidating?
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing, is the intimidation factor of, you know, getting into your kitchen and trying out a recipe, because you go to the store and you buy all these ingredients to make this one recipe, and then it might not even turn out okay.
Exactly.
But my biggest tip is to just be simple. You know, start off with just like roasting vegetables and having quinoa or some sort of like protein like tofu. Baked tofu is amazing. So just starting off with like whole plant-based foods, and also if you can learn like 3 or so recipes and really nail that, then just make those all the time. That's what my sister does. She makes risotto, spaghetti, and like baked veggies.
So what would be some kitchen staples?
Kitchen staples. What I always have on hand is brown rice, quinoa, because you can make that within 15 minutes. I like to have frozen veggies because then you always have them. You don't have to worry about them going bad, and you can just steam them, boil them, put them in the oven. I also like to have cans of chickpeas on hand because that's really quick. Or dried chickpeas, that takes a bit longer, more thought process, but delicious. Fruit on hand, I love fruit.
And then what about supplies?
Good knife. A good knife is key.
Right.
I didn't realize what it was like until I got my big knife kit, and I was like, I don't know what I did before. The thing is getting a blender. You don't have to get a Vitamix. Blendtec's great, or the Ninja. Just getting some sort of blender or food processor, because you can make a lot of different sauces that way, or smoothies or dressings. Mandolins are really fun.
Oh,
you can, and spiralizer. That one you can get under $15.
So what's your usual day of eating for you?
I wish I had a regular day of eating. I realize that now, being a cook, that's just not possible because my shifts are all over the place, and it's not like I can always eat lunch at 12 o'clock. It's like, okay, I might be eating lunch at 4 p.m. It's whenever we have time in the kitchen. So a regular day of eating, I always have breakfast. I need to have breakfast. It's not always at the same time. I love overnight oats because it's super simple. You make it the night before. So oats, coconut milk, chia or flax, and some berries in there. Oh, and spirulina. I really like spirulina.
Me too. I know.
Not many people do, but
I put it in everything. My one suggestion to everyone.
Spirulina.
Was it difficult making this transition, actually believing that you can be a cook and do what you love?
Why I did that test run in Costa Rica, where I did that internship, because I wasn't sure. I was you know, like, I love to cook. It was a passion of mine, but sometimes you can't make your passion into your career. So sometimes you have to test that out, and that was my way of testing it out cost effectively.
True.
And also really fun to go live in the jungle for 6 months. It was very intimidating at the same time, but I also had this gut feeling that it just felt like the right move.
What's your favorite part about what you do?
Is that I get to be creative. Like, it's kind of with you and having a blank piece of canvas. For me, it's a blank plate. And what can I create on that?
So then what would be the most difficult thing?
For me, it would be definitely cooking with meat, since I'm vegan, and it's the whole ethical aspect behind it. It's very uncomfortable to touch meat. It's very uncomfortable to cook it, especially at large quantities, because I work for a catering company. So that is uncomfortable, and that's something that I'm working towards.
But you're doing it.
I'm doing it, and I'm doing it with love, and that's what I have to keep telling myself. And that this whole learning aspect for me will help me in the future to maybe make more people vegan, or more people interested in plant-based food.
So what would you suggest to if people are thinking about it?
Well, I don't think it's for everyone, but it doesn't hurt to try it out. Even starting with just one meal a week that's vegan, or one day, just starting it out slowly. For me, I went vegan overnight just because I was like, I had enough, I see the light. But that's not for everyone.
Awesome. So what's a quote that you live by, or something that you always keep in mind, whether to do with food or life and your mentality?
Okay, favorite quote?
Yes.
Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food.
Food's usually like the one thing that affects your whole everything. It can even affect your mentality, the chemical imbalance.
Like 90% of your serotonin's in your gut.
Exactly.
So if you're eating foods that your gut doesn't like, obviously you're not going to be happy.
It is so true. What's a daily routine?
Like, I don't have a daily routine. It's all over the place.
Well, you're a very positive person. Does that mindset just come to you, or do you put work into it?
I definitely put work into it. I usually work out like probably 5 times a week.
Okay.
A workout will be there in some way, whether it's yoga, or it's a HIIT workout, or it's a run, or on the bike, whatever it is. I like to have a sweat. I also do like to meditate. I don't meditate every single day, but if I do have a night off and not hanging out with friends, I love to meditate. I love to read, and I love to watch Chef's Table. I love to cook for myself. Even though I'm cooking all day at work, I do like to come home and make myself a really nice meal.
So it's really your passion.
It is.
That's so nice. That's so exciting. So empowering. You can do what you want to do. What social media platforms do you prefer, or what do you...
So I love Instagram. I find that's the best for being a food blogger. I like having stories on there because you can be engaging with your audience.
Well, how many hours of sleep do you get on average?
A lot of people in the culinary profession on average would have like 4 to 6 hours of sleep, and I am not that person. I don't think I'm ever gonna be that person. I would much rather not stay out drinking and have 8 hours of sleep so that I can be functioning in the morning.
Yeah,
I don't like to be deprived of sleep because then I feel like I eat worse, I'm more irritable. There's a lot of negative aspects I find behind not sleeping as much, so that's definitely a priority for me. Oh, sorry friends, sometimes I do like to have 8 hours of sleep.
What are some tips? So I feel like a lot of people just say, oh, I want to lose weight and I want to eat healthy. What would you say to that?
I would say first off, questioning why you want to do it in the first place. I think that's really important. If you want to lose weight because you want to feel more energized, just feel better about yourself, I think that's awesome. Start trying to incorporate more healthy aspects into your lifestyle. It's always intimidating starting anything new or changing anything in your life, like going for a run in the morning. But if you make that kind of into your lifestyle and into a habit, it'll be much easier to achieve. And also just trying to eat more whole plant-based foods and not eating out as much, because a lot of packaged food out there has a ton of sugar, and we all know with sugar, once we consume it, we have a sugar rush, and then later on we crash. I hate calculations. I'm like not about that. I just eat when I'm hungry. I stop when I'm full. I try not to overeat.
Thank you so much, Emily, for talking to me today.
Thanks for having me,
and I really hope that all of you guys can learn from this and contact Emily if you have any questions about getting into cooking and being a chef. Bye.